I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a lot. And anything that, like, say that got put out, they'll just take it back and use it, obviously. They get paid for it, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Big stage.
Yeah, big stage.
3, 4?
3's good. Thank you.
All right, ready for that day to be over with? Are you ready for tomorrow? Big day.
You out?
Just about, yeah.
Oh, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
If I got anything left to do, if not.
All right, thank you.
Again, I was doing this for a living, so unfortunately. Oh yeah? Do they come with a truck? Alright. Maybe they do. I mean, they do all kinds of different broadcast stuff, so there's small stuff, maybe high school, there's college, but obviously the big league.
T, you're back, man. You're ready to go. You're ready to go. Huh? No, not yet. No. We'll see. Oh, there you go. See her?
There you go, they're on. Thank you. You're welcome.
You want me to get this out of there, or leave it for him, or her?
What's up?
You want that water for her, for Coach? Or we get it out of there? I don't know. Yeah. It, hopefully there's only a couple people coming. I was like, I'm out of here. See you later. Holy cow. Yeah. Luckily, you guys had got at least we had the names ready. And I don't know the players, so I'm just like, who's here? Who's right. Sure. So we got to remember, he might do the same thing tomorrow. But right, he might do the same thing tomorrow. You don't know. We'll be on our toes. Right. That's right, yeah. I'm going to sit in your seat tomorrow, man, Coach. Yeah, no, they were good. The attendance is dwindling as we get late in the day here, you know? People have dinner plans, I guess. I don't know. Whew. Coach, how are you? We're joined by Xavier head coach Billy Chambers. I'll have her make an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
First thing I think is important to say is how proud I am of that Georgetown team and the way they've rallied around Tasha Butts, and the way Coach Haney has really stepped up and kept that team together and the way that they've performed. So I think that's the most important. I think everybody needs to realize it's so much bigger than basketball, and that team has put that together and really joined it. They're wrapped each other's arms around each other to support each other in such a hard time. Kudos to them for the way that they defended through the second half and really shut us down and made it really hard for us to put points on the board. Obviously a very challenging year for us. And we're sad to see our seniors graduate and go on such a tough last go round, but we look forward to the future and building the culture and coming out much stronger next year.
Questions for Coach?
Hi, Coach. Bradley from WNBA Swish. Can you please talk about the heart and the effort your team has put into this season, and what you are going to be looking forward to in the future?
I do think there's some heart and effort there, and I'm glad that it is noticed. I think this is a team that has battled through a bit of adversity of our own, right? We've had some key injuries early in the season. Obviously, I had to cancel a couple of games, and that can rattle you, especially as a kid, right? Trying to figure all of that out and put all the pieces together. And then trying to figure out the losses and how to put the points on the board, how, kind of being one player away each time, how we make this successful. But I do think that they've worked hard for us. They've tried to do everything that we've asked, and they've tried to put it together all the way through the end of the season. Just coming up short quite a few times kind of takes its toll on you. But I do look forward to giving them a break, letting them reset, making sure that the mental health piece is there and giving them those resources to take that next step and then really getting after it in the postseason. It's going to be a huge postseason for us to take strides individually in our one-on-one games and able to put points on the board, but collectively as a team having a better understanding of how to play the game, how to approach some of those critical moments in the game where you have to be a lot more on point. I think this group has a lot to learn, but I think they're ready for it.
Right here.
Hey, Coach T. Baker with the Knights. Good to see you.
Okay.
Tomorrow is the Big East Legends ceremony, and Xavier selected their player to be honored. Can you just talk about why that player was selected and kind of what your relationship has been like, or the impact on the program?
Yeah, Tashia Phillips, an incredible young woman, always sends great messages in support of this team. She's watching from afar and really looking forward to seeing this team get back to somewhere where she's carried the team, right? An NCAA tournament run and incredible success. Great human. We're looking forward to seeing her get honored. She's well deserving. And I think just a great example for our young women. She is a player that they want to be like. They want to be in her shoes. They want to be exactly where she was and do what she did. So, we're excited for her and excited for her to be honored tomorrow.
Anna Bellinghausen with Big East Digital. Coach, you mentioned the word culture. What kind of culture are you trying to set here at Xavier?
I think one piece is to be able to handle adversity well. And I think there were moments this year where we had a lot to learn in that regard, and we didn't step up and make sure that we were even. We do a lot of mental toughness work, and Coach Simeon Sperling on our staff handles that along with our chaplain, Father Murphy. And a lot that we talked about this year was finding that even space and not saying negative words out loud, so that you can handle the ebbs and the flows of the game a little bit better and you're more prepared for that. That's an area where we want to really grow. We want to have a culture that handles adversity well, individually, but collectively. How do you need to speak to your teammate to make sure that they stay locked in and they don't, hang their head when things aren't going their way? And we want to be a culture of hard work and accountability. The system that we want to run offensively, you have to be accountable. We should be creating a lot of open shots for each other. And I think we did that in the first half. And in the second half, we really got away from that. We got ahead of ourselves. We saw the run, we got excited about the run, and really started pressing and taking some contested shots. So we want to be strong in our culture of just accountability, handling adversity, and really being there for each other and working hard through it.
Coach, hi. Pam Roker, Big East Digital. Building off that momentum, that great first quarter lead, 16-9, half times within 6 points, 30-24. Is that anything you can build off of as you talk about the culture and the pride you have and how hard this team fought?
Sure. I think there's been quite a few moments this season that we want to build off of, right? The success we had in the first half, some of our defensive performances, some of our, performances against St. John's at home, against Seton Hall. We had some really good possessions we put together, playing Providence to a 9-point game. I think we can go back and pick different areas where we liked what we saw, we felt like we were putting it together, and then obviously areas where it just got lost, and we have to clean up. So we've got to go back to the drawing board, figure out why specifically it happens, teach our young women how to figure out how they can manage it in games so we don't burn through all of our timeouts. But again, this is a group that wants to work. I'm probably going to have a hard time keeping them out of the gym for the time that we're giving them off, but we're looking forward to getting in the gym with them, working one-on-one, and really growing this group. Thank you.
Any other questions for Coach? Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, people, how y'all doing? Wake up, we live.
Coach, how are you?
Wake up.
Congrats. How you doing?
Thank you so much.
How you doing? Hi. Good to see you. Congrats.
Thank you.
We are joined by Georgetown head coach Darnell Haney, student athlete Kelsey Ransom. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for Kelsey, and then we'll get questions for Coach. Coach?
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Excuse my voice. I kind of was going off a little bit, especially in that first quarter, right? We went 1 for 13, and I had to call a timeout because we were a little anxious, right? We were missing some chippies down there, and we needed to make sure we just calmed down and got under control, and I need to make sure we did that. But kudos to our group. They persevered. They came out the second quarter and played Georgetown basketball. And then when we came out the third quarter, we kind of had to get on them in halftime a little bit about doing that, and then we came out the third quarter and again played Georgetown basketball. We got to do a better job of starting and finishing better than we started, and I think we're ready to do that. We got a good St. John's team tomorrow, but we'll be ready.
Questions for Kelsey?
Hi, Kelsey, it's Brad from WNBA Swish. Your team had a lot of success under the rim and in the paint this evening. Can you kind of walk through and tell me how you had that success?
Yeah, I mean, we have some of the best post players in the country, and they know that, and when they play like that, they're unstoppable. So we knew that our advantage for most games is down in the post. So just making sure that they feel confident going in, making easy shots, I think in the first quarter we gave up a lot of layups, guards too. But once we like settled in, we realized, just grandma layups, backboard net, like that's how we can be a successful team. So easy as that.
Hey, Kelsey Baker with the Next. Good to see you. Congrats on the first team honor. Just want to hear your reflections on what that honor meant for you and how you feel your great game has grown this season.
I mean, it's a fantastic feeling. It's a fantastic feeling to know I represented Georgetown in that way and represented the team in that way. It wasn't like just a me thing. Like, this team has made me feel confident. And they've given me the utmost respect and put me in positions of leadership and just they've really brought me to where I am right now. And my growth comes from the coaches and getting on me in practice. Getting extra shots up. Coach Kelly has been fantastic. Working with me. But it's really just a team growth. Like, when one of us grows, one of us successful, the entire team's successful.
Hi, Kelsey. Pam Roker, Big East Digital. I call you a stat line stuffer. You did it again today. But I wanted to ask about the balance, and your front line was dominant today. 4 in double figures. Your team contributed 37 points off the bench. What kind of confidence do you have in the balance that the Hoyas can put on the floor?
I mean, it's right there on paper that we're deep. We are a deep team, and everyone who comes in, like, they know they prepared, and we prepare 1 through 13 in practice, and everyone knows when their name is called, like, it's time to step up. And I think as teammates, we do a good job of instilling confidence in each other. I know when my teammates touch the ball, like, I know what they do well, they know what I do well, and we're just trying to make each other look as best as possible. Thank you.
Any other questions for Kelsey? All right, Kelsey, thank you.
Thank you.
You can go. Yeah. Yeah.
Good night. Oh, yeah, good night, guys.
Great
Thank
job.
you.
Great job, Kelsey.
Any questions for Coach?
Hi, Coach. Brad Lake from WNBA Swish. Can you elaborate more on what you told your team after that first quarter, giving them that motivation to turn the tide more in your favor? And then can you elaborate what you feel made the difference in the second half?
When we got in the huddle, after that timeout I called in the first quarter, we got in the huddle, and I told them we just have to calm down. We just got to play Georgetown basketball, get everything through our defense, make sure we're getting stops, and when we get an opportunity to finish a play, we have to finish it, be it with a rebound defensively or be it with a backboard layup offensively, or be it a kick-out shot and making basketball or a free throw. I think one of the biggest things that goes on in tournaments and in situations like this, we got to understand that they're young people, man. And young people, they get a little anxious, right? And, I mean, Georgetown women's basketball hasn't been in a situation kind of like this in a minute, right? It's been a long time they've been in situations, so it's a little bit of, like, pressure on these young people. And I told them, like, give me all the pressure. I'll take all of it. You don't have no pressure. You go out there and act like you playing when you were home, when you were a little girl. You just got to go out there and have fun with this, man, and just do it, have fun with it, and the chips going to fall where they may. But we got to rely on our principles. We got to rely on the things that we do every single day. We got to rely on what we know we're about. We got to rely on our standards, man, and we'll be just fine.
Hey, Coach Baker with the Next. Two-part question. The first part, you spoke about just, coaching young people and the challenges. I think you've navigated really difficult situation this year with the loss of Coach Butts, and I remember talking with you at MSG and just the journey that your team has been on. I think just curious kind of how you've been able to lead through those emotional periods and bring a team together strongly. And then the second part, tomorrow we honor Big East legends. Chris Whitfall's your legend. I wonder if you could say a little bit about Chris and kind of why she was selected as the choice.
First and foremost, I want to give all glory to God and what he's been able to do through these young women, what he's been able to do through my staff, what he's been able to do through just me, right, in handling a situation like this, right? It's tough on them, right? It was tough on them early. But again, when you have a foundation and a standard is set, right, you know, like one of the biggest things you gotta understand with young people, especially young people who've been through, you know, some things, like you gotta be able to manage them emotionally, right? I think the emotional piece, people start to forget, like they're not just basketball players, they're not just students, they're humans, right? And human beings have a feel. It's a part of it, right? They're gonna feel a certain type of way, and we have to make them feel confident. We have to make, I told my staff, we gotta make them feel confident. We gotta make them feel like they are good enough, especially with females, especially with young females. I got 2 daughters, man, so I know it. Like, we have to make them feel like they are good enough. We gotta make them feel like they are worthy. We gotta make sure they feel like my team knows you are royalty if you're with me. So if you rock with me and you roll with me, you're of royalty. So you gotta act like it, you gotta walk like it, you gotta talk like it, you gotta feel it. And when you do that, right, and you do everything you should do on that floor, you do everything that you do in that classroom, and you do everything that you do in the Georgetown community and outside, you understand that when you're doing that and you're doing it through love, you know you just continuing to pour seeds and put seeds down, and your harvest is gonna come. So we're right now we're on a journey, right? And we're trying to just make sure we go on one possession and one game and one practice and one shoot around at a time, man. And we're just trying to do everything we do through love. And when you coach these young women and when you coach young people through love, they respect it. They respect it. They have a sense that you care for them, and they have a sense that they can do anything. And these young women have done a lot. They're on a journey, and they're trying to be the best team to ever do it here at Georgetown. And in order to do that, we told them you're going to need everybody. You're going to need everybody through adversity. And how you get back up when you get knocked down. How do you deal with, oh, these shots not falling? How do you deal with going 1 for 13 in the first quarter? Well, you rely on your principles, you rely on your standards, and you do everything that you're doing through love, and you'll be fine.
Thank you, Neff. You're able to speak on Chris Whitfall as well, and kind of why Chris was selected as your legend.
Well, I didn't have anything to do with it, but I know Chris Whitfall was great for our Georgetown community, right? We just honored another Georgetown legend, Rebecca Brunson, right? We just honored her. She's in our Hall of Fame now. And we wanted to make sure that we spread the wealth. And Chris Whitfield was a big part of the Georgetown build-up in the beginning. One of the teams that she was on was one of the best teams to ever do it here, right? And kudos to her, man. She needed to be recognized, and I'm proud of her, even though she's a little older than me.
Any other questions? Thanks, Coach.
No,
Congrats.
thank you.